Emily Lindin says she too was sexually bullied in school and it deeply affected her childhood. She has since started a campaign called the Unslut Project. Please welcome Emily.
The Unslut Project works against sexual bullying and slut shaming, and that is on a school level, a larger community level, and we also talk about how it works in the media. Last April, I heard about a girl named Rehtaeh Parsons who had taken her own life after being the victim of a rape at the hands of her classmates when she was too drunk to give consent. For the next 2 years after that, she was bullied by her classmates and blamed for what had happened to her. So that all built up, and she ended up deciding to commit suicide. And it was the third or fourth story that I'd heard like that over the past few years, and it really moved me. And it made me remember my youth when I was targeted as the school slut.
It started when I was 11 years old, and throughout 7th grade and 8th grade, I had that reputation. For a couple years there, I considered committing suicide a couple of times. I ended up cutting my wrists, and it was more of a cry for help rather than an actual attempt to kill myself. But I just felt such a connection to the girls who did go through with it. I felt like I really needed to share my story.
Hearing about other girls going through something similar reminds me how common this is. But what was different about me is that I kept really detailed diaries.
That ended up being a really special tool for me, because when I heard about stories like Audrey Pott and like other girls who've gone through something similar, I knew I had my diaries as a primary source of what it's like to be at that age going through that type of bullying. I felt like I needed to do something. I needed to somehow turn what was such an awful experience for me into a way to prevent anything like this from happening again, or at least trying my best to do that.
So one thing that I could do was to share my diaries online in hopes that I would reach someone who was going through something like that right now, let them know they're not alone, that I went through it and got through it and not only survived, but I have a really fulfilled, happy life, and that this happens to so many girls who come through this on the other end, and that if you're going through it right now, you can come through it too. What happened was that after I shared my diary, I inspired a lot of women to come forward and share their stories as well. And so now the Unslut Project is this wonderful online community where we're spreading the word and sharing our experiences and other stories that we hear in the news, and trying to really get it out there.
My first goal is to kind of start conversations among adults and demonstrate what an issue this is and how pervasive it is. My second goal, and probably the most important and most immediate goal, is to reach girls who are going through something like this now, and to let them know so many of us have gone through some variation of this. You don't have to take your own life. It's not what the best option is. And so reaching those girls is the most important, most immediate goal for me.
So we have the website, www.unslutproject.com, and we just want to really build our community as a supportive place for girls who need to know that they're not alone.